So Reem Ibrahim has dropped another clanger. I mean, it's one of many, let's be honest. Most of the problems people associate with capitalism are actually problems with the government. So Reem Ibrahim is a libertarian, and my God, libertarians' political beliefs are insane. Luckily, it's never going to be implemented. But being a libertarian, they've been programmed to believe that capitalism can do no wrong, and any negative effects of capitalism must be the government. Which is why she says, don't blame the global hegemonic system we currently live under, blame governments. But how is this the fault of governments? So let's look at wages for a second. The UK is a low-wage country. We pay people like crap, and Ibrahim doesn't think that's an issue of capitalism. But who pays your wages? Most of the time, it's your boss in the private sector, which has nothing to do with the government. In fact, the government has a minimum wage, a regulation that mandates businesses to pay a basic wage. And if they didn't have it, they'd pay you less. This is an example of the government literally curbing the excess of capitalism. It is temporarily fixing the negative effects of the system we live under. Now, a libertarian response might be, well, if we had freer markets, less government involvement, this will create competition and businesses will be competing for your labor. That will increase wages. But that's theory brain. Libertarians' entire worldview is based on theory and not real world effects. So what happens with deregulation and lower taxes? What happens with less government intervention? Do you see an explosion of well-paid jobs? No. The reality is you see a race to the bottom. You see more precarious work and more low-paid work. Libertarian theory ignores a very basic fact that humans need work or some kind of payment to survive. We need food, water, and shelter. And typically the way to do it is through employment. Therefore, we don't have any bargaining power against businesses. In the current capitalist system, we are coerced into work. We don't have a choice. If we don't work, we die. Therefore, we have an incentive to take the first job available, meaning all of the power is in the hands of companies. They know that we don't have a choice, which is why they can pay so little. Now, yes, we do have a welfare state, we have unemployment benefits such as universal credit, yet UC is not fit for purpose. I know, I have experience of it, and it's been gutted over the years. It is not enough to cover the most basic standard of living. A strong welfare state is a tool for people. It can give workers power. If we had a welfare system that actually worked, where people didn't have to take the first job offer, held out for better pay or a more suitable job, companies would then have to compete for your labor. That would raise wages and better quality jobs. Another idea is universal basic income, a wage from the government, unconditional. Now, despite my issues with UBI, if this was an unconditional wage that's enough for everyone to live on, that could potentially shift the balance of power. No longer would people have to take the first crappy job because they can survive. Therefore, businesses would need to work damn hard to fight for your labor. But this will be government spending. Therefore, the government is intervening in the market, which once again, libertarians hate. The other form of power is unions. We can collectively bargain for better working conditions. But have you ever heard Reem or other libertarians speak up for unions? Another problem with capitalism is monopolization. Companies are merging, more and more wealth is being concentrated into fewer hands. And what's the libertarian response? Nothing. They oppose any form of government intervention. They hate taxes, yet taxes, especially on the wealthy, is a way we can rein in the power from the 1%. They don't like that. Given that they hate any form of regulation, they don't support anti-monopoly laws. The entire point of these laws is to promote competition, yet we don't have very strong regulation, so companies merge all of the time. For libertarians who say they love competition, they hate the very thing that promotes it. You'll hear from these people that, oh, it's not capitalism, it's corporatism. There's no such thing as corporatism. It's literally just capitalism. Naturally, capital accumulates capital. The more money you have, the easier it is to make more money. So it's a natural effect of this system. Yet for Reem, they think the government is the issue. The problem with the government is that it serves capitalism. It serves capital. Our government has been captured by the capitalists. The point is for the government to represent the people, and it can do so by strong, meaningful regulation and actually properly taxing the rich. Ironically, for someone like Reem, who tells people to stop blaming the system of capitalism, who opposes any form of government, it's strong socialist policies and ideas that have been the only way historically that saved capitalism.